Hey friends, welcome back to your daily dose of English. I'm Jessica, and I'm really excited about today's episode because we're going to talk about something that many of you have asked me about: English for travel and transportation. Whether you're planning a trip abroad, catching a bus to work, or ordering a taxi, knowing the right English phrases can make everything so much easier. And here's the good news: you don't need to know thousands of words. You just need the right phrases, the practical ones that travelers use every single day. In this episode, I will speak slowly and clearly. I will teach you useful sentences and phrases. I will explain what they mean and when to use them. And of course, you will have time to repeat after me. This is your chance to practice speaking, listening, and building your confidence step by step. So, are you ready? Find a comfortable place, take a deep breath, and let's begin our journey together. All right, let's start at the beginning of most journeys: the airport. The airport can feel busy and confusing, especially if English is not your first language. But don't worry, I'm going to teach you the most important phrases you need to know. Let's start with check-in. When you arrive at the airport, you need to check in for your flight. This means you show your ticket and passport, and they give you your boarding pass. Here are some useful phrases. Phrase 1. I'd like to check in for my flight to London. This is a polite way to start the check-in process. You're telling the staff where you're going. Let me say it again. I'd like to check in for my flight to London. I'd like to check in for my flight to London. Now you repeat. Great job. Here's another one. Phrase 2. Can I have a window seat, please? A window seat is the seat next to the window. Some people prefer this because they can see outside during the flight. Can I have a window seat, please? Can I have a window seat, please? Now you repeat. Perfect. Now, what if you want to sit next to the aisle? The aisle is the walkway between the seats. Phrase 3. I'd prefer an aisle seat if possible. This means you would like a seat next to the aisle, but if it's not available, that's okay. I'd prefer an aisle seat if possible. I'd prefer an aisle seat if possible. Now you repeat. Excellent. Now let's talk about your luggage. Luggage means your bags and suitcases. Phrase 4. How many bags can I check in? This question asks how many bags you're allowed to put in the airplane storage area, not carry with you. How many bags can I check in? How many bags can I check in? Now you repeat. Very good. Sometimes you have bags that are too heavy. Phrase 5. Is my luggage over the weight limit? The weight limit is the maximum weight allowed for your bags. If your bag is too heavy, you might have to pay extra money. Is my luggage over the weight limit? Is my luggage over the weight limit? Now you repeat. Well done. Now, after check-in, you go through security. Security checks your bags and makes sure everything is safe. Here are some phrases for security. Phrase 6. Do I need to remove my shoes? Sometimes at security, you have to take off your shoes. This question asks if that's necessary. Do I need to remove my shoes? Do I need to remove my shoes? Now you repeat. Great. Here's another common security question. Phrase 7. Can I keep my laptop in my bag? Usually, you have to take laptops out of your bag at security, but rules can be different in different airports. Can I keep my laptop in my bag? Can I keep my laptop in my bag? Now you repeat. Perfect. Now let's talk about boarding the plane. Boarding means getting on the airplane. Phrase 8. Which gate do I go to for my flight? A gate is the door area where you wait before getting on the plane. Each flight has a different gate number. Which gate do I go to for my flight? Which gate do I go to for my flight? Now you repeat. Excellent work. Here's another important one. Phrase 9. When does boarding start for this flight? Boarding usually starts about 30 to 45 minutes before the flight takes off. This question asks what time you can get on the plane. When does boarding start for this flight? When does boarding start for this flight? Now you repeat. Very good. And here's one more useful phrase for the airport. Phrase 10. Where can I find the baggage claim? After your flight lands, you pick up your checked bags at the baggage claim area. This question helps you find that place. Where can I find the baggage claim? Where can I find the baggage claim? Now you repeat. Great job, everyone. Those are the essential airport phrases. Practice them at home. Say them out loud. Imagine yourself at the airport. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel when you travel. All right, now you're on the airplane. You've found your seat and you're settling in. Let's learn some useful phrases you might need during the flight. First, what if you need help finding your seat? Phrase 11. Excuse me, I think this is my seat. Use this politely if someone is sitting in your seat by mistake. Excuse me, I think this is my seat. Excuse me, I think this is my seat. Now you repeat. Good. Now what about putting your bag away? Phrase 12. Could you help me with my bag, please? The overhead compartment is the storage space above the seats. Sometimes bags are heavy and you need help lifting them. Could you help me with my bag, please? Could you help me with my bag, please? Now you repeat. Perfect. During the flight attendants will offer you drinks and sometimes food. Phrase 13. Could I have some water, please? This is a polite way to ask for water. You can replace water with juice, coffee, tea, or whatever you want. Could I have some water, please? Could I have some water, please? Now you repeat. Excellent. What if you're vegetarian or have special food requirements? Phrase 14. Do you have a vegetarian meal available? This asks if there's a meal option without meat. Do you have a vegetarian meal available? Do you have a vegetarian meal available? Now you repeat. Very good. Sometimes you need a blanket or pillow to be comfortable. Phrase 15. Could I get a blanket and pillow, please? A blanket keeps you warm, and a pillow makes your seat more comfortable. Could I get a blanket and pillow, please? Could I get a blanket and pillow, please? Now you repeat. Great. Now what if you need to use the bathroom but someone is blocking your way? Phrase 16. Excuse me, may I get past, please? This is a polite way to ask someone to move so you can walk by. Excuse me, may I get past, please? Excuse me, may I get past, please? Now you repeat. Well done. Sometimes you might feel sick or uncomfortable on the plane. Phrase 17, I'm not feeling well. Could I have some help? Use this if you feel dizzy, sick, or need medical assistance. The flight attendants are trained to help. I'm not feeling well. Could I have some help? I'm not feeling well. Could I have some help? Now you repeat, good job. And here's one more useful phrase for the airplane. Phrase 18, how much longer until we land? This asks how much time is left before the plane arrives at your destination. How much longer until we land? How much longer until we land? Now you repeat. Excellent work. Those are your essential in-flight phrases. Remember, flight attendants are there to help you, so don't be shy. Just speak slowly and clearly, and they will understand. Now let's imagine you've landed at your destination. You've collected your bags, and now you need to get to your hotel or accommodation. One common way to do this is by taking a taxi or using a rideshare service like Uber. Let's learn the phrases you need. Phrase 19, I need a taxi to the city center, please. The city center is the main area of a city, usually where hotels, shops, and restaurants are located. I need a taxi to the city center, please. I need a taxi to the city center, please. Now you repeat. Perfect. Now, before you get in the taxi, you might want to know the price. Phrase 20. How much will it cost to get to this address? This question asks for an estimate of the taxi fare before you start the journey. How much will it cost to get to this address? How much will it cost to get to this address? Now you repeat. Excellent. Sometimes taxi drivers try to charge tourists more money. Here's a useful phrase. Phrase 21. Could you use the meter, please? The meter is the device in the taxi that calculates the fare based on distance and time. Using the meter ensures you pay a fair price. Could you use the meter, please? Could you use the meter, please? Now you repeat. Very good. Now, what if you're in a hurry? Phrase 22, I'm in a bit of a hurry. Could we take the fastest route? This politely asks the driver to choose the quickest way to your destination. I'm in a bit of a hurry. Could we take the fastest route? I'm in a bit of a hurry. Could we take the fastest route? Now you repeat. Great job! During the ride, you might want to make a stop. Phrase 23. Could we stop here for a moment, please? This asks the driver to pause briefly, maybe so you can run into a shop or check something. Could we stop here for a moment, please? Could we stop here for a moment, please? Now you repeat. Perfect. When you arrive at your destination, here's what you say. Phrase 24. This is the place. Thank you very much. This confirms you've arrived and thanks the driver. This is the place. Thank you very much. This is the place. Thank you very much. Now you repeat. Excellent. And finally, here's how to ask about payment. Phrase 25. Do you accept credit cards or cash only? Some taxis only take cash, while others accept cards. It's good to ask before you start the journey. Do you accept credit cards or cash only? Do you accept credit cards or cash only? Now you repeat. Well done, everyone. Taking a taxi in a foreign country can feel intimidating, But with these phrases, you'll feel much more confident and in control. All right, now let's talk about public transportation. This includes buses, trains, subways, and trams. Public transport is usually cheaper than taxis and is a great way to see a city like a local. Let's start with buying tickets. Phrase 26. Where can I buy a ticket for the metro? The metro is another word for subway or underground train. This question asks where the ticket office or machine is located. Where can I buy a ticket for the metro? Where can I buy a ticket for the metro? Now you repeat. Great. Here's another useful question. Phrase 27. How much is a single ticket to the museum? A single ticket means a one-way ticket. This question asks the price of a ticket to a specific destination. How much is a single ticket to the museum? How much is a single ticket to the museum? Now you repeat. Perfect. Sometimes buying a day pass is cheaper if you're taking many trips. Phrase 28. Can I get a day pass for unlimited travel? A day pass allows you to use public transport as many times as you want in one day. Can I get a day pass for unlimited travel? Can I get a day pass for unlimited travel? Now you repeat. Excellent. Now, once you have your ticket, you need to find the right train or bus. Phrase 29. Which platform does the train to Oxford leave from? A platform is the area where you wait for and board trains. Each train leaves from a different platform number. Which platform does the train to Oxford leave from? Which platform does the train to Oxford leave from? Now you repeat. Very good. Here's a similar question for buses. Phrase 30. Does this bus go to the city center? This confirms whether the bus you're about to board goes to your destination. Does this bus go to the city center? Does this bus go to the city center? Now you repeat. Great job. Sometimes you're not sure where to get off. Phrase 31. Could you tell me when we reach the next stop, please? This asks the driver or a fellow passenger to let you know when you've arrived at your destination. Could you tell me when we reach the next stop, please? Could you tell me when we reach the next stop, please? Now you repeat. Perfect. What if you miss your stop? Phrase 32. I think I missed my stop. How do I get back? This explains your situation and asks for help getting to where you need to go. I think I missed my stop. How do I get back? I think I missed my stop. How do I get back? Now you repeat. Excellent. And here's one more really useful phrase. Phrase 33. Is there a direct train or do I need to change? A direct train goes straight to your destination without stopping at other stations. Changing means you need to get off one train and get on another. Is there a direct train or do I need to change? Is there a direct train or do I need to change? Now you repeat. Well done, everyone. Public transportation can seem complicated at first, but once you learn these key phrases, it becomes much easier to navigate any city. Now, even with maps on our phones, sometimes we get lost or need help finding a place. Let's learn how to ask for directions politely and clearly. Phrase 34. Excuse me, how do I get to the train station? This is a simple, polite way to ask for directions to a specific place. Excuse me, how do I get to the train station? Excuse me, how do I get to the train station? Now you repeat. Great. Here's another way to ask. Phrase 35. Could you point me toward the nearest bus stop? To point means to show direction. This asks someone to show you which way to go. Could you point me toward the nearest bus stop? Could you point me toward the nearest bus stop? Now you repeat. Perfect. Sometimes you need more specific information. Phrase 36. Is it within walking distance from here? Walking distance means close enough to walk to comfortably, usually within 10 to 15 minutes. Is it within walking distance from here? Is it within walking distance from here? Now you repeat. Excellent. What if you're completely lost? Phrase 37. I'm a bit lost. Could you help me find this address? This honestly explains your situation and asks for assistance. Most people are happy to help tourists. I'm a bit lost. Could you help me find this address? I'm a bit lost. Could you help me find this address? Now you repeat. Very good. Here's how to ask about travel time. Phrase 38. How long does it take to walk there? This asks how many minutes it will take to reach your destination on foot. How long does it take to walk there? How long does it take to walk there? Now you repeat. Great job. And here's one final direction phrase. Phrase 39. Should I turn left or right at the traffic lights? Traffic lights are the red, yellow, and green lights at intersections. This asks which direction to turn. Should I turn left or right at the traffic lights? Should I turn left or right at the traffic lights? Now you repeat. Perfect work, everyone. Don't be afraid to ask for directions. Most people enjoy helping travelers, and it's a great way to practice your English in real situations. All right, let's talk about something important. What to say when things go wrong. Travel problems happen to everyone, but knowing the right phrases can help you solve them quickly. Phrase 40. I've lost my passport. What should I do? Your passport is your most important travel document. If you lose it, you need to report it immediately. I've lost my passport. What should I do? I've lost my passport. What should I do? Now you repeat. Good. Here's another emergency phrase. Phrase 41. My bag has been stolen. Where is the nearest police station? If someone takes your bag, you need to report it to the police as soon as possible. My bag has been stolen. Where is the nearest police station? My bag has been stolen. Where is the nearest police station? Now you repeat. Excellent. What if your flight is delayed or canceled? Phrase 42. My flight has been canceled. What are my options? This asks what you can do next, such as getting on another flight or receiving a refund. My flight has been canceled. What are my options? My flight has been canceled. What are my options? Now you repeat. Very good. Sometimes your luggage doesn't arrive with you. Phrase 43. My luggage didn't arrive. How can I track it? This reports the problem and asks how to find out where your bag is. My luggage didn't arrive. How can I track it? My luggage didn't arrive. How can I track it? Now you repeat. Great job. Here's what to say if you're feeling unwell. Phrase 44. I need to see a doctor. Where is the nearest clinic? A clinic is a small medical center. Use this phrase if you need medical help. I need to see a doctor. Where is the nearest clinic? I need to see a doctor. Where is the nearest clinic? Now you repeat. Perfect. And here's one more important emergency phrase. Phrase 45. I've missed my connecting flight. Can you help me? A connecting flight is the second flight in a journey where you change planes. If you miss it, the airline can usually put you on the next available flight. I've missed my connecting flight. Can you help me? I've missed my connecting flight. Can you help me? Now you repeat. Excellent work. I hope you never need these emergency phrases, but it's good to know them just in case. Being prepared gives you confidence and peace of mind when you travel. All right, my friends, that's it for today's episode. We covered so much together. We learned essential phrases for the airport, for airplanes, for taxis, for public transportation, for asking directions, and even for emergencies. Remember, you don't need to memorize everything at once. Start with a few phrases that are most useful for your next trip. Practice them out loud. Say them in front of a mirror. Imagine yourself in these situations. The more you practice, the more natural and confident you'll sound. Travel is one of the most exciting ways to use English. It connects you with people from all over the world. It opens doors to new experiences, new cultures, and new friendships. And now, with these phrases, you're ready to travel with confidence. Before we finish, here's my challenge for you. Choose 5 phrases from today's episode. Write them down in your notebook. Practice saying them every day for 1 week. And then, the next time you travel, use them. You'll be surprised how easy it feels. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you for learning, for practicing, and for believing in yourself. This is your daily dose of English. And I'm Jessica. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep unleashing your English potential. Safe travels, my friends, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.